Hi friends, today we're going to make a super simple craft made with stuff from the Dollar Tree. First you'll need this candle holder, this little jar, some paint, some paintbrushes, and something to hold your paint in, and some decorations. So first we're just going to paint the candle holder with some black paint. You can spray paint it, which would be a lot easier than just painting it with acrylic paint. I had to do 2 layers. The first layer was just regular acrylic paint, and then the second layer, I used this special enamels paint that I got from Hobby Lobby or Joann's before it died. I'm not quite sure. So basically, what I did was I threw down the first layer of paint and then used my heat gun to dry it so that I could continue painting because I hate waiting for anything. Like, my patience is so thin. The older I get, the less patience I have. It turned out looking like shit. So that's the enamels paint that I used. It worked like a dream. It was literally one coat. I probably could have just done one coat instead of the 2 coats because this stuff laid down so nicely. It's super shiny. It looks just like black glass. I love this stuff. I painted the lid of the jar so that it matched the base of the candle holder. I wanted it to match. You don't have to paint the lid. It looks just as cute if you don't paint the lid, but I wanted it to be matchy matchy. And this one you also probably need to paint 2 layers. You could use a paintbrush or a bounce brush or a sponge brush to do this. And then this, I just wanted to make a little wreath to put on there. So I'm using the long, like, I think it's like 12 feet of garland that you can hang from the Dollar Tree, or they have little garland ties that you can also use. So I made a little tiny wreath, and then what I'm doing is cutting it so that it's not so crazy looking. I cut the outside and a little bit of the inside so that it looked more like a little wreath instead of like a little gremlin hanging off the side there. I made quite a mess, so I'm using my desk vacuum that I have here in a second. I absolutely love that. I also use 2 towels to hold the jar sideways so that I didn't have to fight with it. And that is probably the best bit of advice that I can give you for this project is use the 2 towels to hold it sideways instead of having to, hold it so it's teetering back and forth. And this is a new glue gun that I got because my daughter was using my favorite glue gun, and this glue gun basically just ate the glue. I don't know where it went. As you saw, I used almost a whole glue stick for like 2 little drops of glue. It just like disappeared. I don't know where it went. And then this is my little box of goodies full of all these little odds and ends that I have. I chose to use this little bow, and I just dug around until I found things that I liked. You can decorate the front of this any way that you'd like. I chose this bow and this little bit of holly. Um, Basically, you could just stop at the bow, but I just can't stop with that. I need to keep decorating. If there was a way for me to work in more glitter, I would have probably. I mean, I could have frosted the glass, maybe made it look a little frosty. Maybe I'll do that next time. So that's what I did. That's how I finished it. And then what I did was I put the jar on top of the candle holder to try to find the middle. And I marked it. That was me just try to get it in the middle as best as possible. And then I used 2 forms of glue. One is a quick setting, and one that would like hold it the best, the longest. You can use E6000. You could use any sort of glue. I just use super glue and hot glue. Um, Basically because once again, I don't have patience for things to dry. So I just use those 2. And I don't plan on like traveling or doing anything crazy with these. It's just going to sit on the shelf. So I don't really need E6000 or anything. And then I just stuck a little tea light inside of there. And this is what it looks like at the end. It was a super easy craft. I hope you guys try it, and pretty cheap too. So have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.